Y'all know before we ask him out for life. You guys having a blessed day. Make sure you subscribe to that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Like I always said, he wanted to go viral. He wanted to be on all the blog pages. He wanted to make international fame. Now he's literally infamous, right? This is just sad, to be honest with you. Fleeing the country? I mean, it's one thing to feel like somebody after you. Because then get your lawyer involved. You could have did a whole bunch of shit. But trolling to the point where you finna face jail time because you really think life is a game. People think life is funny. You done made it on Law Crime, other news networks. It don't matter how you slice it. It's not a good look. I know a lot of people want to say, oh yeah, it's because of this, it's because of that. I don't give a damn what it's because. Why would you add insult to injury? Why would you make a bad situation worse?
A popular YouTuber once known for his family vlogging.
Look, go there. Come on. Can't get over here. My car went out there, but you're not ready.
Is now accused of kidnapping 2 women. But the story doesn't end there. Authorities say the Texas-based content creator fled the United States by booking a one-way ticket and hopping on a nearly...
That's what people gotta understand too. Why book a one-way ticket? If you really believe somebody was after you and you had hard evidence, not just running through your head, not just some weird false perception of reality that you cooking up, being delusional. I mean, this dude loves to get on live and pontificate. I mean, if you just think about the mental state that Corey has been in since Carmen left, it ain't never been right. He's been inconsistent, unstable.
20-hour flight all the way to the Middle East. So how did a man with millions of social media followers end up charged with aggravated kidnapping? Well, it all began on November 22nd. That's when a woman exchanged numbers with 26-year-old Corey Pritchett Jr. The woman told authorities the following day she and another woman met up with Pritchett. They did some pretty harmless activities like working out, ATV riding, then bowling. But it was at the bowling alley where things took an intense turn. While there, the 2 women felt like something was off when Pritchett and his 2 friends started acting strange. The women told police they were repeatedly looking around, seemed on edge, and were acting suspicious. The unnamed women told police they learned Pritchett and his friends were having issues with another group that was there at the bowling alley. So they reportedly told Pritchett if he continued acting that way, he should just leave with his friends. Pritchett in turn stepped out with his friends, but never returned, leaving the women behind. After some time, the women texted him because they left their stuff in his car. So he asked them to meet at the H-E-B grocery store parking.
I'm gonna put it like this. If you really felt like those girls were trying to set you up right and they want their shit back and you claim they can meet you to go ahead and get their shit, not just do your due diligence by having your friend or whoever you was with either do the exchange rather than yourself meet up with them, or you could have left it with a store clerk or somebody and just watch from a distance, whatever the case may be, being inconspicuous with it. And they say, let me see if they go get their shit, or they come back over here with them same individuals and you duck off. But you decided to pick up these girls again and then act erratic. Come on, man.
Lot to get their stuff back. When the 2 women showed up, he switched gears and offered to drive them home, and they said yes. But according to the women, Pritchett flipped the script once again. During that drive, he reportedly...
Why would you offer to drive somebody home who you feel like is setting you up? Just think about that for a moment. And if you trying to say that's some G shit, ain't nothing G about that. You could have literally kicked them girls to the curb, left there, and say, you know what? I feel like they set me up. I'm gonna leave your shit on the side of the street somewhere. Go get it. If you really was G. But it seemed like some iffy, just when somebody has, I'm just gonna choose my word wisely on this platform, but when people have certain issues mentally, they can experience ephemeral emotions that can go back and forth and switch up sporadically, and it can occur rather frequently. And that's why I always say when people really need to seek therapy and God. He claimed he got God in his life, but God ain't got nothing to do with that. God ain't got nothing to do with this guy's actions that he continues to display.
Really began acting erratically and skipped what was supposed to be the route to drop them off. The women say Pritchett claimed someone was after him and started making phone calls. Then Pritchett began driving at high speeds, going past 100 miles per hour. The women claim he pulled out a gold-colored handgun and started waving it around the sunroof while still driving erratically fast. Then,
when I'm on vacation, I want less of.
I tell you, straight up nonsense.
Out of the car window. One of the women reportedly told Pritchett to take her back to her apartment and tried to calm him down by asking him to pray with them. One of the women reportedly told Pritchett to take a shower. The women claim he pulled out a gold-colored handgun and started waving it around the sunroof while still driving erratically fast, then began firing off rounds out of the car window.
Now you firing rounds out of the car window at no one. At no one. It's like you just keep adding and adding shit that completely and utterly don't add up. But you picked up them same girls who you believe set you up. Then you took their phones. Then you still ain't find shit in their phone of them communicating with someone trying to set you up, but you still proceeded with that narrative. All I'm saying is this. It could have been a possibility of some people that had, beef with him or whatever when he was at the bowling alley. Whatever the case may be, whatever the fuck. But he already had the opportunity to leave. Nobody tried to set him up, come at him, pull a whoop-de-whoop on him. None of that. And he still decided to act erratic and have those girls in the car.
One of the women reportedly told Pritchett to take her back to her apartment and try to calm him down by asking him to pray with them. But he still continued driving crazy fast down the I-10 highway. Pritchett then made a video call to a woman reportedly saved in his phone under future wife. He asked the woman on the call, if I had the perfect opportunity and was in the middle of nowhere where no one could hear them scream, should I just go ahead and do it? And the woman on the line reportedly responded, yes. For the women in...
So you mean to tell me even a girl that he supposedly is in a relationship with is allowing this type of behavior and condoning it, even being aiding and abetting at this point. So I'll tell you, man. Let me just see. I'm not even gonna show other shit. I'm just trying to see something.
I moved to Dubai. The people just want feel so good out here. My kids, listen. So I'm having more kids, right? With my future wife, for sure. And Aiden, my kids are gonna be homeschooled, bro.
I know why they gonna be homeschooled, because your ass ain't trying to leave there.
It's real wicked in the United States. A lot of y'all not paying attention because a lot of y'all sleep, and the news outlets are not speaking on a lot of that's going on there. It's gonna get real over there. Y'all might think I'm lying. Y'all might think I'm just talking. Y'all see
IDK, but yeah, the FBI should be after him. A pretty wild case that is now ranging across two completely different countries that are thousands of miles away from one another. So let's bring on retired FBI agent Colin Schmidt to get his thoughts on this. Colin, thank you so much for joining me today. What is your reaction to this case, from Pritchett's alleged erratic behavior to trapping these two women allegedly in his car and leaving them stranded on the side of the road, then later fleeing off to Qatar?
Well, I think the first thing for investigators is kind of look at the totality of the circumstances and look at the big picture, as well as look at credibility of who the complainants are, as well as what's really going on here between these two people. And that's based upon the recent instances of YouTubers or bloggers or social media influencers faking in their own kidnappings. So to prevent a waste of resources, they have to just take a step back and kind of look at the big picture. And then, of course, if there is some merit to this, then they're going to have to kind of dig in and find out exactly what really went on between these two.
And investigators also say that, GPS data from Life 360, which was an app that was on one of the women's phones, that helped corroborate their story. Talk to me about how investigators use that type of data to kind of piece together, or at least verify these types of allegations.
Well, in this case, the victim made it easy for law enforcement to track her because they did have the Life 360 app on there. I'm familiar with the app. It's fantastic. And I have used it with my kids as well. So if that wasn't on there, the first step with all these cases, and even if it's a bank robbery or a fraud case, is going to be the phones and to look in to see if there's any GPS data, tracking data in that phone to find out and to corroborate what the victim is saying that the assailant did.
Yeah, and it's also, unclear right now, but from what we do know now, do you think the erratic behavior on Pritchett's behalf might have been someone actually after him as he had told these women allegedly? Or do you think there's another reason, possibly like drugs, that kind of made him act erratically during this whole incident?
Well, with the limited information, available, you'd be speculating on why he was acting so erratic. So when somebody's acting erratic, there's some a catalyst or some sort of antecedent that make them do that. So either it's something internal or external, and that's one thing that's going to come out, so to speak, in the wash as the investigators do their investigation and start talking to people and find out why he was behaving in such an odd manner. And then the fact that he fled to Qatar, which is kind of an unusual country to go to because of it. And I doubt he speaks Arabic. Does he have some sort of connection to that country?
I'm losing weight and feeling confident thanks to hers.
That's the one thing that I'm saying. If you're gonna flee somewhere that's unorthodox, it's gonna make you crazy.
Also, going to ask you what your thoughts are on him fleeing to Qatar. What all goes into extraditing a kidnapping suspect? And in your opinion, how long do you think it'll take before he's actually back in the United States?
Well, first thing is if we have extradition with Qatar, I'm not aware whether we do or don't for that particular crime because extradition is crime specific. Some crimes are extraditable, some aren't. And then the extradition process is generally very long and it takes at least a year to 2 years. Generally, what the authorities do is they just have the country expel or deport the person that's there. It's a much faster process. Unless the person has some sort of citizenship with that country. And I doubt this gentleman has any citizenship with Qatar.
And do you think that trip was planned this whole time, or do you think he kind of did it as an escape to escape those now criminal charges that he's facing? Because I can't imagine, leaving your children behind to go start a new life in a completely different country and just, leave them behind in Texas.
Well, if he was going to Mexico, I would say there wasn't a lot of thought put into it because obviously it's just right over the border. But to take an international flight, you have to fly through an international hub, whether it be Houston or Los Angeles or New York, and then make a couple of connections to get to Qatar. So, and then, of course, the flight itself is pretty expensive. And then there is going to be some scrutiny on him on when he lands through the authorities there in Qatar. So there had to be some sort of planning to go into it because, like I said, he's just not driving his car over the border going down to Mexicali. He's going to a foreign country, and it's approximately an 18-hour flight.
Yeah, and booking that one-way ticket as well, too. I can't even imagine kind of going back to this alleged crime as well. Can't imagine what it was like for these two women who were stranded on that highway until they were able to flag down a driver who eventually called 911, and then authorities arrived as well, too. But, kind of going back to the overall alleged offense in this case, what do you kind of make of just leaving two women stranded on a highway and then just, again, fleeing off to a completely different country?
Well, that tells me that there wasn't much thought put into this. It sounds more like this was an impulse crime. He was reacting to some sort of something maybe the women had done to him, or vice versa. And this was reaction, and he didn't think it through. And then I think finally it kind of dawned on him that what he had done is basically going to land him in jail. And he essentially panicked. Kicked him out or put him on the side of the road, and then obviously left the country. So.
Yeah, that's what really happened. It was off impulse. He didn't put no thought into it, and he just decided to clear it. And it's stupid because if you're innocent, you will not flee. That's number one. You will not flee. If you're innocent, you're just gonna go consult your lawyer, have your lawyer speak on your behalf, and then let the shit play out in court, or if it doesn't even make it to court. But this guy literally allowed this shit to get international, and he probably enjoying it. You know, some people really don't give a damn where the spotlight comes from as long as it's on them. But let me know what you guys think about in the comments, and I'm up out of there.